All right, folks. Hey, we're back. We were in the process of talking about expert or your level of riding,
Right.
right? Your experience
Yeah.
level, because again, coming here, this is not. This is just not going around the corner. This you do need some skill sets.
Yeah, I mean, when people contact me and they inquiry about the trip and they want to come here, those are the first questions I ask. I'm
Right.
like, how many years have you been riding? What kind of bike do you own? Because if somebody tells me, oh, no, I haven't owned a bike in the last 15 years, that for me, it's
Red flag, right?
It's a red flag
Yeah.
right there. I mean, that tells me this is not your hobby. This is not your thing. This is just something you kind of want to do because because
Bucket list thing or
like a
something,
bucket
whatever,
list
yeah.
thing. So I try to discourage people who are not really into this to come to Colombia specifically, because riding in Colombia, it's itself, forget about off-road, on the streets, it's a challenge already.
Right.
It's a lot of crazy drivers out there, so you need to be.
Hey, wait, time out. Folks, let me tell you something. I've been here for basically less than 48 hours. Crazy. Now,
Yeah.
if you've been to Europe, if you've been to Latin America, you'll know how traffic is. Nuts. So you really got to pay attention. when
Oh
you're here.
yeah, for sure.
I like, we were just riding around yesterday or even today, and
Yeah.
just the bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, people just do
Bikes in
whatever.
and out, cars in and out,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. So
So you need to be confident. That's
Right.
it. That's the word, confident. If you're confident, you're going to enjoy the ride because it's a new experience to ride
Right.
with all the craziness. But if that's going to make you nervous, and once you hit the
Don't-
the dirt, you're gonna stiff up, and
Don't sign up for this.
it's not for you. Yeah.
don't sign up for
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
So again, so if you're planning on coming here again, make sure you have the skill sets to do it.
For sure, yeah.
And chances are you're probably going to come with a crew. You're probably going to bring one or two buddies.
Right.
And you're probably going to connect with a couple other buddies. or
Usually
whatever. So
people
you're-
do that, yeah.
So you're usually with a crew, which makes it fun, right? Because
Always, yeah,
I would
yeah.
think you probably don't get a lot of solo guys that sign up, do you? Or do you? or occasional.
I think it's a mixed, like a 50-50. Some people don't care and they just show up on their own.
Okay.
And usually they're super, I have to say, adventure riders are 99.99% super cool people. They're
agree
open.
with you
They're
more.
open to new experiences, meeting new people, going to new places. So I've never had major issues
Yeah.
with people getting along or.
That is, out of all the interviews that I've met, I don't know if you ever met Kane from Appalachian Adventure.
I don't think so,
I think we
no.
talked a little bit about him when we've been at lunch and stuff. Then obviously Chad, I did his interview and stuff like that. And now you're the third one, and you're in a different country. All three, we talk about how the people you meet in this community
Oh my God, it's
are
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Majority, like the 99%.
Oh,
There's
for
always
sure.
you got the 1% that's
Yeah.
going to be a little bit of a goofball. And anyways, doesn't really matter. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, the majority of adventure riders are really good people
Absolutely.
and
yeah.
love the sport, love the event, quote unquote the event. Oh, that one died too. But loves the adventure, and we're going to stick with this one. So,
Okay.
So how many tours are you doing now?
Well, there is kind of a season, not because of our the temperatures or weather. It is more because of the seasons up north.
Yeah.
So people try to escape the winter months and the colder months. So let's say in between September, April, May, it's pretty busy.
Right.
And then your summer up north,
We ride up-
it gets, it slows down, which, it's great.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Gives you a break.
Gives, I really don't need a break because, I love doing
Yeah,
this.
no, I
but,
know you do, but-
gives me time to renew the bikes, go do some
Scouting or whatever,
scouting,
yeah.
which we usually do with my buddy Alejo, which I wish he was here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard Alejo, right? Did I get that right?
Alejandro, we call him Alejo. El Tigre.
Okay, all right.
El Tigre, yeah.
I heard that he is an incredible.
I don't know where
heard
epiCO
he's
would
a-
be
heard
without
he's
him.
Incredible sweep and
Oh, he's just
all around just a.
he's just an
phenomenal
amazing
person.
human being. Yeah. He's all about riding. He's all about Colombia.
Nice.
He knows everything about
Everything.
birds, trees,
okay.
urban legends, you name it. He knows it, and so he keeps everybody like, oh, yeah. he's always telling a story. He's an amazing rider. His family, so I love the guy. Yeah.
So you're gonna have to start learning all that stuff because you got to start. I mean, he's not with us on this trip. Right?
I know,
so
I know. Dude, Alejo, where are you, man? I'm gonna miss you on this
He's got to
trip.
step up the game now. Okay?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So you got all that. You got a beautiful place, and folks.
Thank you, man.
You know, my other camera went out, so I would tell you, beautiful place, beautiful setup. Your wife puts up with this.
Oh, she's amazing. She supported me from day one.
She puts up with it because I'm also going to show some stools that are in the house. That this is the topic of conversation.
It is.
But yeah, but you know, that's nice that
She moved down here with me. I mean, I quit my job. That was my dream. Okay, I'm like, baby, this is what I want to do. I just need to do this. She had her job, very successful job in the city, New York. And she's like, you know what? I kind of need a break from this too. She was getting tired of the hours and the intensity of her job.
Both of you were getting to a point in your
life.
Yeah,
we both.
Is this really what we want to do?
Yeah.
Like
we were very lucky to, first of all, find each other and be at the same page,
Huge.
So she quit her job. She moved down here with me without a job. I'm like, hey, let's go. And then she got an offer from her previous employer to work remotely. So, I mean, it worked out great. Yeah. We're very lucky.
Good for you guys.
Yes, we're very lucky.
That's awesome. And so is there any, I mean, we talked a little bit about your tours and what goes on and how much you do that stuff. We talked a little bit about the one group that went into Ecuador and stuff like that. Do you see, what do you see for the future of this? Do you see expanding to like surrounding countries, or do you just see more of showcasing Colombia for what Colombia is all about?
I think part of the success of epiCO is the passion that grew inside of me from being away for so long in a foreign country and coming back and seeing a lot of things with different eyes.
Yeah.
I do see a lot of things, and I see people in a completely different way that what I did when I lived here, because you don't know anything else, right? So I'm very passionate about this culture, this country, what it has to offer. So it would be very difficult for me to have that same passion in a different country. I can definitely take you to Ecuador, Peru, Chile, obviously, right?
But you wouldn't have, like you said, you wouldn't have the passion. You wouldn't have necessarily the knowledge of the local flavor, like the little different regions.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, just today, like when we went to lunch, you talked about all the little different areas of Cali, like the little community, like community in the community, right?
Right.
And I thought that was kind of neat, and so that's the perspective you like to share, correct? With where you take people on your journey. Right.
I'm all about you guys having the best experience in my country. Right. So that's my focus. I'm all about quality, not quantity.
Right.
Like, I don't see myself owning 50, 60 motorcycles and having 10 guides, being away at the same time, and then me becoming another manager on a desk, worrying about what's happening everywhere else. I want to be out there with you guys.
That's cool.
That's what I want to do in this.
That's awesome. So, all right, we covered how you got started in here. We got the name. The passion around what you're doing. You want to continue to keep focus on Colombia for the most part.
Absolutely.
Maybe if you did have groups that came back for 3 or 4 times, and then they want to maybe do the Ecuador thing, you could possibly do that. But for the most part, if you're coming here for multiple trips, it's not usually the same trip. Am I correct?
Never.
It's never the same trip.
We have so many different routes and so many different durations of trips. The most popular, because of people have to take off of work and their life, so we do the 7 days, 7 riding days, which is the most popular one. And for that 7 days, we have 3 or 4 different routes. So if somebody wants to come back for another 7 days, we do a completely different route in places.
See, I
So,
And that's cool because I think some, I've read, and I haven't experienced it because I'm new still, right? I mean, you hear my story, but at the end of the day, some places just get stuck into the one route, or one or two different routes,
right.
and kind of do the same pattern type of stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's the beauty that you can come back here 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
and
and
do
you
something
always
completely.
see something different.
And
Yeah.
exactly, like a different region, different area, whatever.
Different climates. I mean, people don't realize how diverse Colombia is. I mean, we have the 2 oceans, we have 3 huge mountain ranges, valleys in between.
See,
that
blows me away.
Yeah,
I don't like some of the stuff that you've told me so far about the country, and stuff, like things I didn't know.
Yeah, people come here and the first thing they ask is, "What's the temperature like?" I'm like, "Which part of the country?" It's not I cannot ask you what's the temperature like in the States right now, like which part of the States.
Right.
So you go up the mountains, it gets cooler.
Right.
You go up to the coast, it's warm and humid. It all depends. So you'll experience a lot of different climates, different foods, different dialects, different people, different accents. It's a pretty diverse country. So
That's awesome.
It never gets boring, ever.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. This is awesome. So yeah, I like I said, part of me doing this was just to try to interview different people across the adventure community.
Yeah.
To showcase what you're doing, like how you got started, and to again just basically to showcase people in the adventure community.
I really appreciate it.
It's so important to see how people start this process because I'm sure there's other people that are like you.
Yeah.
That are still in their spot or whatever, and they want to do something.
Yeah.
And,
Ooh.
what is that? What is that? Away from me.
Get him!
What was that? What is that?
You do bloopers in this too?
I'm going to. But I don't think I've ever seen anything that big. Look at that thing. Holy cow. That thing attacked me. And he's laughing at me, I know it. This is all for the tour, right? And, well, we're not riding the Vespa, though. Are we riding the Vespa?
Yeah, that's our backup bike.
We got 390s, 790s, 890s, and we got the Norton 901. I love it.
Well, you're out of the camera.
I'm out of focus? That's
yeah,
good.
there you go.
Nobody wants to see me anyway, so. Yeah, no, I just think, like, so at the end of the day, what would you tell people, like, about my perspective? And I don't want the giant stink bug landing on me again. So, but yeah, so like,
the biggest challenge.
biggest
that
challenge
was your
is
first question.
Yeah.
The biggest challenge. I think when people think about Colombia, they always have this stigma, right?
Right.
This that we carry, and it'll be with us for a long time. We do have a very dark past.
Right.
That thankfully it's past us in many ways. So for me because I always get the question. People go to the website and they're like, "Oh, I want to do this," and they talk to their spouses, their friends, and everybody tells them, "What are you doing? Like, you're crazy. Why are you going to Colombia? You're going to get shot. You're going to get kidnapped."
And and we talked about this last night, right?
Yeah.
So folks, we talked about this. So we talked about how I had people asking me, like, what are you, nuts? Like,
Yeah.
you're going to get kidnapped. You're going to get shot. You're going to run into a drug cartel. You're going to like.
Watch out! Oh, no, that's not. No. I thought somebody was going to shoot you, but no, I think we're safe. Sorry. Cut.
See, folks, this is what I have to put up with, on these interviews. Anyhow,
yeah.
I will cut that out, but I will leave that as a blooper. So, anyhow,
Anyway.
But yeah, I think that's people's perceptions can kind of try to turn into reality type of thing, right? But it's not a reality.
Right.
And like I said, from what I've seen in the last 48 hours, I mean, it's like any other place. It's just it's a major city.
It is, yeah.
But it's a country, any country,
right?
And
yeah.
it's but I don't see the craziness that you get perception wise.
Right, because people think the cartels are running up and down the street on the
Right.
back of a pickup truck with shotguns,
Right.
shooting people. That's what people think. It's
know.
amazing because I've asked
Well,
people.
okay, so if you watch Netflix series and you watch the
Right, from the 80s,
I get it,
and it was that way.
Yeah.
It's sad to admit it, but we do have that past, and it was something that
It's a stigma
did
that's stuck
happen.
with you.
But come on, let's get over it.
Right.
Let's understand that things have moved on. Tourism grows in crazy
yeah.
rates every year, and all you have to do. Don't listen to me. I mean, I'm running a business. I'm obviously going to try to get you to come right with us.
But listen to the people that have been here.
Talk to the people who have been here, people who come from your same background, your same country. Talk to them. See if they have anything bad to say about Colombia, if they ever felt unsafe or insecure, or if they ever were in danger at any point.
Right.
I'm not saying crime doesn't exist anymore, because that would be,
Well, we could
I would be
go
lying.
to the United States and still have the same stuff.
Right. So we are in big cities. Crime does exist. If you are in the wrong place at the wrong time, things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not the nature of what we do. We go out in the country, remote areas, small villages. The smaller they get, the nicer the people get, the more easy and calm and peaceful. So we stay away from the big metropolis, the big cities, and we go out and explore the real Colombia, the countryside.
So you feel that that's your biggest challenge sometimes to overcome.
It's because I don't want to convince you to do anything. Like I don't want to convince you to come here. Right?
Correct.
So I've had to answer that question so many times that I feel, because I'm not a salesman, I'm not a businessman, I'm just doing what I love to do.
Does it annoy you? To a certain
No, it doesn't annoy me because I understand where the question comes
where it's
from.
coming from.
Right. Because if I'm going to a country where I've never been to and all I've heard about that country is bad news, I'm going to ask somebody.
And again, perception is reality.
Right.
Your perceptions is something that creates
Right,
reality.
and sadly, all you hear over the news is the bad news.
Yeah.
You don't hear about all the beautiful scenery that we have and the cultural side of it, right?
Or what the government or society is trying to do to either beautify the country, create tourism, create
exactly.
You
don't get to.
You don't hear any of that.
You don't hear any of that.
Just the bad stuff.
Just the bad stuff. The same way we hear all the bad stuff that happens everywhere else in the world.
Right.
All the mass shootings and the explosions and the terrorist attacks, and that's all we get too. So, I would ask people to be open-minded and do a little research.
Cool.
And just read the reviews. I mean, the reviews are out there.
Yeah.
Don't take it from me, because
I hear you.
Yeah.
So, future. What's that looking like? Continue down the path?
I want to do this for as long as my body can take it. Because I don't see myself doing anything else, to be honest. There's no way I could go back to a desk job or working for anybody, doing anything else.
We're going to stay on the path. We're going to showcase Colombia. We are going to give you a great experience. And we're going to provide the best, thing for you to come when you come to Colombia to showcase it.
That's what I try to do.
That's awesome.
That's what I try to do, for sure. I treat these bikes like they were my own bikes. I'm very particular about maintenance and
let me tell you something. The first time I see the bikes, you saw a little bit of video. You can eat off these bikes after they've been ridden. He does not screw around.
And we do the same thing. We try to give you guys a different experience every day. We stay at colonial towns, beautiful settings. We stay at remote resorts up in the mountains with hot springs. And then we stay at bamboo huts, open spaces by the rainforest, by the river. Every day has a little different flavor of Colombia. So it's never boring. The roads to get there are amazing. When we get there, we get to a cool place where we can hang out, have a drink, have a good dinner. Interact with the locals.
That's great.
So, people ask me all the time, don't you get bored of doing the same thing? I'm like, what? I was getting bored of, you know, looking at a
Click
at a
on screen
monitor
the whole time, yeah.
12 hours a day. I'm like, I'm out there, you know, meeting awesome people every time, riding motorcycles, which is what I love to do, talking to all these wonderful, humble, amazing, friendly people on the road that you'll get to meet when we leave tomorrow.
How can you not like that?
I mean, we have awesome weather
Yeah.
all year round. I mean, we don't have riding seasons. We ride all year round. Yeah, we might get some rain here and there, but
That's awesome.
I mean, there's nothing.
All right, Ricardo, thank you for your time. I really
Matt,
appreciate it. I am so looking forward to this week. It's unbelievable. And I really appreciate you sitting down and having a
No,
conversation
man,
with
no.
me. So
To
this
have
is-
you sit down here with me and care about my story, that means a lot to me. So thank you very much.
This is awesome.
Thank you very much.
Folks, I hope you enjoyed this. If you get a chance to come to Colombia, epiCO Moto Adventures, get down here. I'll leave all the descriptions in the links below. Get down here. You will have a fantastic time. They will take care of you 100%. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Matt.
Absolutely.
All
All right,
right.
brother. All right.
All right, man.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.